Have you ever looked at your paycheck or income statement and wondered, what exactly counts when it comes to faithful giving? It is a question many people ponder, and the answer, while rooted in principle, also involves personal conviction and understanding. Generally speaking, your tithe base is most commonly understood to be your gross income. This means the total amount of money you earn before any taxes, deductions, or other expenses are taken out. The principle behind this approach often aligns with the idea of giving God the first and best of what you receive. The primary reason many choose gross income is based on the biblical concept of first fruits. This idea suggests that we offer God the first portion of our harvest or earnings, acknowledging that all provision ultimately comes from Him. Choosing gross income reflects a desire to give from the entirety of God's blessing to us, before any other claims on our income, including taxes or personal expenses, are accounted for. Some people, however, prayerfully choose to tithe on net income, which is what remains after taxes and mandatory deductions, because this represents the money they actually have available. Both approaches are heartfelt and stem from a desire to honor God, with the why often being tied to one's personal interpretation of stewardship. To determine your personal tithe base, you first need to identify all sources of income. This includes your regular salary or wages, bonuses, commissions, freelance earnings, rental income, dividends, interest, and even significant gifts. Look at your pay stubs for your gross pay figure, and for other income, keep clear records of all amounts received. Once you have a clear picture of your total income, you can then prayerfully decide whether to calculate your tithe on the gross amount or the net amount that remains after non-discretionary expenses like taxes. Understanding the difference between gross and net income is truly foundational to this decision. Gross income represents the full scope of God's financial provision through your efforts or other means, often before any mandatory or elective deductions. By contrast, net income is what you take home after the world gets its cut, reflecting a different perspective on what constitutes your first fruit. This distinction is not about right or wrong, but about aligning your giving practice with your deepest conviction about honoring God's ownership of all resources. Ultimately, choosing your tithe base is a deeply personal and prayerful decision between you and God. By thoughtfully considering all your earnings, understanding the principles of first fruits and stewardship, and making a consistent choice, you cultivate a heart of generosity. This practice not only supports the work of the church but also reinforces your trust in God as your ultimate provider, bringing peace and clarity to your financial journey.
If this blesses you, like, subscribe, and grow your faith with us.